Cameron Murray is officially a try-scoring legend for his country. And if he scores again this Saturday in Melbourne against the Kiwis, he will equal a 54-year-old record held by the great Rabbitoh Ron Coote. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But welcome to Bunnies TV, live and free across Australia and around the globe. It's Steve Maven here, Rabbitoh 757. Also on the show, we've got a Nathan Merritt update. We're going to talk about the Keon Kalamatangi signing. And I'm going to recap all the Pacific Championship results and also the international games and a bit more. So welcome. And the Rabbitohs released a Merrow update, and I'll just read it out. It said, some great news regarding Nathan Merritt. Nathan is now able to get out of bed, sit up and speak to people. He's recovering well and progressing every day, but has a long way to go to a full recovery. Merrow asked us to thank all of the Rabbitohs fans for their support and players. It means so much to him. So, yeah, get well soon, Merrow. He's still got a bit of a road to recovery ahead of him. I have spoken to his dad, Tony, and also his cousin, Matty. And, yeah, so still a road ahead, but it's great news that he's up and about, and he's a fighter, so good on you, Nath. More good news, Keon Kalamatangi signed for a further 2 seasons until the end of 2026. Thank you very much. And he was fired up over in England yesterday in that test against the Pommies, against Big Tommy. And have a look. Where is he here? Let's have a look. I thought I put a photo of him. There he is. He's down the bottom. So he's fired up. Knowles, the Pommy kid off the bench, he resented what he did, and he come over the top, and old Keon was fired up. But I'm going to have a look at that in a little while. So I just had to find that. But yeah, great news that he's re-signed. Now, we had to keep Keon. He's a mascot junior, and he's damaging on the right side there. He's played Origin this year. He's a big body. He's got a lot of skill. He can defend. And shout out to you, Keon, and Dad Izzy. And welcome to our channel members. And PC's in there. Paul Cullen, he said, hi, Mavo. And Katrina Haza said she was going to get up, set the alarm clock. I'm not sure if she has. Apologies that I don't set the time because I just did a few things. I've just interviewed Luke Della, who is a former coach now at the Rabbitohs, and his interview was pretty good. I enjoyed it. He spoke well, and he's given a great insight into the club. So look out for my Luke Della interview coming up on Bunnies TV. Now, we are brought to you by the Juniors group of clubs. And what about that photo? There's Henry Morris, the botany battler, up at Henry's at the Juniors. So you go and have a beverage or some pizza or go and watch a band up at Henry's, and you might see this man there, the great man, Henry Morris. You're watching this on our George's camera, our Canon camcorder, and that's the George's store there in George Street City. You can get the light rail and get off there right across the road from the Strand Arcade. Go in, mention Bunnies TV, and they'll look after you. Dot Bill Construction is 100% Aboriginal owned and operated. And if you need a builder, Dot Build. Can't go past them. And also Sight Pizza. We're going to start giving away some pizzas soon. And there's one there out at the Maroubra store. But we'll move on. So the Pacific Championships. Well, first we'll talk about, on my last show, just a bit of housework. So I mentioned that JD and Ben Hornby have re-signed with the club. And the coaching structure saw Joe O'Callaghan promoted to assistant coach. But I didn't mention John Sutton. And he will become a full-time development coach, which is great. We also now have Jason Clark, who returns to the club as a Pathways Wellbeing Manager. And I'm going to have a chat to Jace on the show soon. I've had a chat to him on the weekend. Tyrone McCarthy joins the Rabbitohs as Pathways Coaching Director. McCarthy joins the Rabbitohs from the Warrington Wolves, where he was the Senior Academy and Development Coach. Now, yeah, and I'll just show you him. Here he is here. And he knew a lot of the guys, the young kids behind him there from Warrington. and he had a little bit to do with that trial that you might have seen on the show when the SG Ball boys played the Warrington Academy boys. And yeah, there's Tyrone McCarthy. Also, my man Benny Hill has got a well-deserved promotion, and the Rabbitohs have said Rabbitohs first grade player Brent Hill will join the club as the Pathways recruitment manager. So Benny, champion, he's our man here on the show. And yeah, I did mention Luke Della. He's given great service to the club. And just before we get to the Pacific Championships, there's the merchandise. There's Milo, who helped me out on the day on Saturday. He's got a Bunnies TV t-shirt on there. There's a link to buy those and the hoodies in the description just in time for Christmas. You can shop at bunniestv.au now for merchandise. So, week one, the Aussies 38-12 win over Samoa. Now, Cam Murray's on the verge of greatness, like I said. He is poised to equal the great Ron Coote's record. Like I said, he scored tries in 5 tests, going back to the World Cup final where he scored in there, and before that, I think, too. So if he scores in Melbourne against the Kiwis on Saturday night, he equals Ron Coote's record. But I don't want to get ahead of myself, but if he scores again in the final the week later in New Zealand against the Kiwis, again, he'll break the record. He's a chance. But let's start with Saturday night. Anyway, back to this game. So, yeah, on the 14th of October in Townsville, he equalled Steve Menzies has done it as well. He scored 5 in 1995, and then Ron Coote did it in 68-69. In that game, Cam ran for over 100 metres, set up a try and made 32 tackles. The Aussie backs ran for big metres. The Hammer scored a double. Staggs was good too. And Staggs scored that late try and he covered the start. And a lot of punters would have liked that. He needed to kick the goal from the sideline to cover the 26-point start. So that was quite funny. And Payne Haas, 172 metres, 95 post-contact metres in 45 minutes. Absolute freak of nature is Payne Haas. Also, that's Samoan fullback, Fa'alogo. He almost scored one of the best chip and chase tries you've ever seen. He's electric, this kid. And he ran for big metres as well, 176 metres. But he's got a big future, and that chip and chase reminded me of my old teammate, Phil Blake. He was something else back in the day too. Then we had the PNG 46, Cook Islands 10. So PNG put them away quite easily, the Cook Islands. Now, you think in a big score like that you would see Alex Johnston scoring a few tries or a double or a triple, but no, he didn't. But he did run for 145 metres, and he did have a try assist where he supported through the middle and a nice flick pass for a line break to score and put him up 30-0. There was 4 tries to Nene McDonald there. And our boy Davey Mawali ran for 91 metres and made 34 tackles, so he did his job. So, yeah, I'm looking at these Pacific Championships with a focus on our Rabbitohs boys. Then we'll move on to week 2. The Kiwis 50, Samoa 0, ending their tournament. The Samoa War Dance and the Kiwi Haka were unbelievable, and they were great to watch. The boys were all fired up. Unfortunately, I think Samoa left it all in the War Dance, and they couldn't get it done, letting 50 points unanswered get put on them. But New Zealand were impressive, and they dominated possession throughout. There was a funny moment when Joey Manu had his jersey ripped off. You probably would have seen it, and then he ran the ball bareback. It was hilarious. And this Kiwi side looked like they are the real deal. They've improved since the World Cup. And Saturday night's clash with the Kangaroos in Melbourne could be anything. We'll talk about that in a minute. Fiji 22, Cook Islands 18. The Cook Islands, unlucky. They hung in there and they were brave. They led until the 74th minute when Sonny Taruva broke their hearts. For Fiji, Tane Milne played 80 minutes in the back row and ran for 82 metres. So he played well. Be interesting to see if JD thinks about using him as a back rower as he gets a bit older, fills out a bit, but that remains to be seen. And Davey ran for 132 metres and made 35 tackles. Another solid performance in the middle. So he will be benefiting from that, no doubt, young Davey. So what that means is, after the first 2 weeks, is that the games that are on this weekend coming up are going to be the same as the finals, because Samoa's lost 2 games, Cookies have lost 2 games. They can't make the finals. So this Saturday, 28th of October, the Kangaroos versus the Kiwis, 8:10 in Melbourne. That's going to be huge. Cam Murray, can he score and equal the great Ron Coote? Just watch it for that alone, viewers and listeners. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, give me a 5-star review, please, and rating. And then Sunday, 29th of October, PNG versus Fiji, 4 p.m. in Port Moresby. So that's going to be interesting as well. And then the same teams, like I said, the next week. So the Pacific Cup final, they're calling it, will be between the Aussies and the Kiwis on the 4th of November, 3 p.m., Hamilton, New Zealand. And then the Pacific Plate, I think they call it, will be PNG versus Fiji, Sunday, 5th of November, 4 p.m. in Port Moresby. So I heard the news about the PNG boys wanting to get a team in the NRL. So that's interesting because, it's be good for international relations. But, whether that happens, and there is a problem with the crowds and the behaviour there, so I don't know how that's going to work, because it's quite lawless there, having been there. And you saw what happened when the Prime Minister's 13 played there. Like, a bloke was tackling Cody as he was walking off the field. So they'll have to put some protocols in place there if that does actually happen. We'll move on to the international tests. And England 22 defeated Tonga 18 at St Helens. Tonga hung in there, and they actually led 10-6 in the first half. So Saliva led the Tongan war cry with Keon up front. That was quite emotional. The Welsh Whiz, Jonathan Davies, was a commentator, and he's my old teammate from the Bulldogs. So if you're watching this, the Whiz, you did well. And he's played for England in rugby league, but he's also played for our union as well. And Karina Haas has joined us. Hello to you. Guten Tag, Karina, our German ambassador on the show. Thanks for joining us. It is in the middle of the day here on a Tuesday in Sydney. It's quite a nice day. But I can understand why there's not a lot of people chatting. If you're watching this as a replay on YouTube, then give me a like, leave a comment, tell me what you think. And there's links to all my sponsors and merchandise in the description of this video right now. Tommy Burgess ran for 122 metres. He was good, and he nearly scored a try, and he claimed it. But he was fibbing, because in the slow-mo replay, he got to there, and that's as far as it got towards the ground. So, quite funny, Tommy. I liked it. But he played well. He's damaging, Tom. Big body. And it was a close game, but Tom did well. Now, Keon, he played 80 minutes. He did a flick pass for a line break assist that almost resulted in a try. But then later, English bench player Morgan Knowles, you saw the photo, he did a tackle, and there was nearly an all-in brawl. And it was fiery. Liver played hooker. Neon Dion came off the bench. Congratulations, mate, for making your international debut. Junior and former Rabbitoh Hame Sele all come off the bench. So that is the best of 3 games. The next game is Sunday morning, 12:30 a.m. at Huddersfield. So the first one was at St Helens. Next one's at Huddersfield. And then the week later, Sunday, 5th of November, 1:30 in Leeds. So it's a best of 3 series. And I just want to mention the late Kyle Turner, former Rabbitoh. The Rabbitohs and South Cares will be hosting a fundraising lunch on Friday the 3rd of November at the Winnell Theatre at the Juniors Kingsford. Proud supporters of Bunnies TV. There they are there. To support the family of Kyle Turner. So the event starts at 1 p.m. and runs until 4 p.m. and will be a great way to kickstart everyone's weekend. There's a link in the description. So if you want to get tickets to this Kyle Turner thing, I think it's $90 a ticket, and that's food and drink, I think. And you can support his family. It might just be food, actually. I'll better check that. But you'll be able to see the details in the description. So support his kids. It was a devastating loss for the family, and good on the Rabbitohs and South Cares, and also South Players Association is supporting that as well. So if you go there, you'll see some South players and some former Rabbitohs as well from the South Players Association, also known as SPA, also known as the Raging Rabbits. Thanks to Garlo, my mate, and all the people that help out there. Steve McDermott, Arvin, Michael Andrews. We've got a great team that look after our former players. And if you're a former player and you're not in the SPA database, send me an email. My email's in the description, stevem@bunniestv.au, and I will sort you out. I'll get you on that database. And we've had a new name pop up. Bad Incubus 7 said, "Hi, Mavo. Hi to you, and thanks for joining me, mate. I appreciate you've dropped in to have a look at the show." And we have covered the international games. We're going to talk a little bit about the Pathways news, and I just mentioned that I spoke to Luke Della, so please have a look at that Luke Della interview. It's really good. He's not a big name, Luke Della, but he's worked at the Rabbitohs for 3 years, and he's gotten to know blokes like John Sutton and Cameron Murray, and he's given a great insight into the Pathways program and the progress it's made. He's a great bloke too, and he's my mate, so have a look at it. It's a good interview, I promise. Now, the Rabbitohs v Warrington and the women's trials were played on Saturday at Mascot Oval. Now, I took this photo and I spoke to Adam from Warrington, and he asked me to take a few photos. So I took that one there, a panorama of the boys, and I was quite happy with that photo. And I took some video and all that sort of stuff. And like I said, Milo helped me out on the day shooting video, pics, and I put together a highlights package, which has been well received. So, it's good content for the show, and I love going and filming the boys, and some of the stuff that I filmed has gone really well. Like I said, Tyrone McCarthy had a bit to do with it. The Rabbitohs won the trial 32-22, and there was a nice try run in front of me by Credence Donovan, a young fella who was playing fullback, and he got the ball, and I was just standing there filming, and he got it down really well, and it was awarded a try, and looked like it was touch and go, so I slowed it down, and you could see he definitely got the ball down, and I shared that on my Instagram, and it went really well, and it got shared, I think, 75 times or something like that, so I love that. You're all supporting me there. There's the Bunnies TV Instagram if you're not following me. It's a new page. It's growing all the time. We're up to like nearly 1,200 followers now, and it's only just started 3 months ago, so yeah, I put exclusive stuff on there on the Instagram story and different stuff, so make sure you have a follow there. Thanks to Donna Smith for her work organising the day, and a shout out to her son, Pathway star Bailey Smith, and he's recovering from a knee injury, and he's making some good progress. He's ahead of schedule, and look out for that young fella to get back on the field in 2024 and carve him up. He's a Botany Ram. Local kid, and I'm going to have a chat to him on the show too, so look out for that one. We chat to anyone here on Bunnies TV. Anyone who wants to have a chat, you're welcome. You're welcome to sit here next to me and either go live, do an interview. Everyone is welcome. We're inclusive here in the Rabbitohs family. I also spoke to the big Tommy Fletcher at Mascot Oval, and he's looking fit. He's coming back from injury, and he's ready to join the top 30 squad when they return to training in November. So not much of a break for the boys, but Tommy's just chomping at the bit to get back into it. And he's a big unit, and I'm tipping he'll play first grade in 2024. The Rabbitohs announced their Tasha Gale squad, so good luck to all those girls. Chanel Lyons, the niece of Graham Lyons, is in there, and Phoenix Williams, the daughter of former Rabbitoh Joe Williams, is also in the squad. So look out for that young lady. I think she's got plenty of talent. Now, I shared the squad in a post on Bunnies TV Facebook, and we had a bit of interaction. Jasmine Williams commented, "Good luck, ladies. Let's go Nenix." So she might be related to Jasmine. She's a Williams. So, and squad member Jemiah Hunt's Auntie Nolene wished her luck. Stevie Jackson said, "Well done to another squad member, Georgia Coote." So thanks for interacting with my posts on Facebook. Now, I'm going to be keeping a close eye on all those teams as they come together between now and next year. So there's Lisa Fiola 17s, Tasha Gale girls, there's Harold Matts, SG Ball, all the way through Flag New South Wales Cup, first grade. And also, teams like the Botany Rams are getting an A-grade side. If you want to play A-grade for the Botany Rams, they're getting a side together and, hopefully they get a good side organised. Just on Facebook, I am proud to announce that Bunnies TV reached over 1 million Let me start that again. Just on Facebook, I am proud to announce that Bunnies TV reached over 1 million people recently for the last 28 days. So thank you to everyone who follows me there and all the other platforms, including right here on YouTube. So yeah, 1 million people. Can't complain about that just for the month. So if that, it was a good month anyway. Still on the pathways, the Rabbitohs announced a 2-year affiliation agreement with the Townsville Blackhawks, which will see the further extension of the Rabbitohs elite pathways into North Queensland. This agreement comes off the back of last week's announcement with the Cooperah Park State High School, one of the premier sporting schools in southeast Queensland for the next 3 seasons. So Cooperah Park, I mean, you always used to see them in the Commonwealth Bank Cup, and they've always produced good players, David Fafuda, Benji Marshall. So that's exciting. And, all the other programs are doing this, going and getting feeder clubs. Like the Storm, seems like they had a mortgage on Queensland. So stuff the Storm. Let's have a Rabbitoh footprint up there. And we've done that now. So congratulations to the Rabbitohs for doing that. And hopefully we start seeing the fruits of that coming through, because between the Townsville Blackhawks and Cooperah Park School, there's going to be some talent coming through that are going to end up wearing the red and green jerseys. Thanks to everyone who's chatting again. There's not a whole lot of us there, but I appreciate you doing that. You can become a member of this channel. I've just done a members-only chat, and that's exclusive content. There's merchandise deals in there, and you get a little icon next to your name in the chat there, so you stand out. And when you stand out in the chat, I read it out. So, yeah, I'll wrap it up. But Bunnies TV will continue during the off-season. I have plenty of interviews coming up. I've just mentioned a few of them. There are pathways trials before them. Slipping up a few times today. Sorry about that. There are pathways trials. I've been off a bit rusty. Had a spell. There are pathways trials before the end of the year. And the top 30 squad returns, like I said, to training next month. On top of that, the new Burrow Cafe is open in the Heffron Centre. So I might see you there for a cuppa in the next few months or in the next season. Thanks again for watching Bunnies TV live and free. And I'll be back soon with either some highlights of training, a show like this, calling some rugby league. And PC said, thanks, mate, I love your work. Well, I love your work. Each and every one of you watching this, thanks again. See you later.